Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Tenderfoot Bushcraft. My name's Andy, somewhere over there is Luna, and today we're going to be looking at 5 easy tarp setups. So let's get started with the first one. The Leanto. So as you can see, the Leanto is a very simple shelter, effectively just your tarp at an angle. The pros of this setup are that there is loads and loads of space. As you can see, you can easily fit under here. You can fit 2 people under here, no problem. You can fit your dog under here, no problem. So plenty of space. It's also really simple to make. All I did was put a guy line up and just peg down the back bits on there, attach the top to the guy line, job done. Really simple. Anybody can make this one. Okay, the first con is that there's obviously no floor, which means that if it's really wet ground or if you think it's going to be raining, you could get wet from the floor. The second is that it's obviously quite open. It's very well protected from this side, but from straight on, from that side and from that side, you can get wind and rain come in. So it's really good for mild conditions, but if you knew that you're going to have stormy weather, this probably isn't the one that I would go for. But I'll show you a really quick mod for this one to resolve the problem with the floor, so let's take a look. Okay, so instead of just pegging down the back, I'm actually going to peg down the middle tier of tie-up points, so I'll just show you what I mean by that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this end underneath the tarp, like so, and then peg down . So as you can see, by doing this, you're left with this flap here, which you then use as a ground sheet to keep nice and dry and off the ground. So this is the Leanto. Let's see how you make it. So that's the Leanto. Let's take a look at number 2 on the list, the Stealth Tarp. So this right here is the Stealth Tarp. Let's have a little look at its pros and cons. Now the first pro is that this is going to keep you dry and warm. If the wind's coming from behind or either of the sides, you're absolutely set. If the wind's coming from the front, just spin it round and set it up facing the other way. Second pro, you've got this ground sheet here. It's going to keep you dry from the ground. So absolutely brilliant. Third pro is that it's called the Stealth Tarp, and the reason for that is because it's stealthy. You're nice and low down, and if you're going to be somewhere where you don't want to be spotted, this is the tarp you want. Now onto the negatives. It's not the easiest to put up. You need 3 prusik knots, you need these tie-up points, and it just takes a little bit of practice and a bit of time to get right. The second con is that it's no good for sitting in. I mean, as you can see now, I'm sat up and it's no good. It's only really good for laying down in. So if you're looking for a tarp where you want to be able to sit up out of the rain and out of the wind, this isn't the one for you. But if you're looking for one to keep you dry and warm and stealthy as you sleep, this is your baby right here. Now let's take a quick look at how it's made. Okay, so to start this one off, all you need to do is tie a prusik knot and tie it to the middle tie-out point. Then next you need to peg out the tie-up points along the middle at the back, so I'll just show you that now. Okay, so now we've got the back pegged out, we need to tie off these middle points here onto the guy line. Now not every tarp has these tie-out points. For example, this one just has the corners and the middles. Whereas your DD tarp, something like that, has ones at set intervals. So what I do is I just take something like a bottle top, a coin, a smooth stick, and I effectively pop it underneath the tarp, tie some paracord around it, and you've effectively got an extra tie-up point. So these ones midway we need to tie these onto the guy line, so let's do that now. So that's that one. Okay, so that's that one in, and then what we can do is we can just slide these prusik knots to tighten it out, like that. Like that. Now we just need to attach these down to the ground. In terms of space in here, as long as you are under, I'd say about 6'2", absolutely fine. I mean, I'm 6 foot and there's plenty of room for me to lay down, plenty of room for my kit, plenty of room for the dog. So yeah, in terms of room, absolutely great, this one. Okay, that's setup number 2. Next, let's have a look at setup number 3, which is the A-frame. Okay, the A-frame shelter. Really simple one to put up, as you see. Effectively all it is a tarp over the top of your ridge line, then guy down each side, nice and easy. The pros of this are that if you set it up correctly, you have plenty of room under here. As you can see, loads and loads of room to work if it's raining. You can sit under here and get on with some camper tasks if it's peeing down the rain. Second pro is that obviously it's really simple and easy to set up. One of the cons is that there's no floor, and also that it's not amazing in really high winds or when there's loads of rain. If it's light to medium rain, I'd say it's no problem at all, but it's when you get that really heavy rain which is blown in by the wind, you might just start to get some of it coming from the sides. But other than that, really nice, simple, easy tarp setup to do. It's not normally one of my favourites, but when you raise it like I have here, so it's raised off the ground, you get so much more space under here that actually it's not bad. As you can see, Luna likes it. If you did want a setup like this, which is nice and easy and quick to put up, but you really wanted that ground covering that you get with some of the earlier tarps, you could always bring something like this with you. This is just your bog standard tarp that you can buy in sort of hardware stores. I bought this for £1. Never actually unrolled it. Let's have a look. And there we go. If you were worried about sleeping on the ground, just bring a cheap tarp like this. It takes up next to no room in your pack, and it just means you're nice and dry off of the ground. Right, so let's have a little look at how easy the A-frame is to make. Okay, that's tarp number 3. On to the penultimate tarp, number 4, the plough. The plough point. There we go. Okay, this here, by far, is my favourite setup, and here's why. You've got plenty of headroom here, so you can sit even all the way back here. You can sit down and you are out of the elements. You can have a fire in the entrance just here, while staying dry yourself. Your fire will be out the way of the tarp, but it will keep you nice and warm in here. It's also, in my opinion, the easiest tarp to set up. Now you can do some extras. You can tie out this point here up to something behind and it will give you a bit more headroom. You can tighten down the sides just with some extra pegs, but just 3 pegs and 1 tie out point, you're sorted. And the last pro for me is that there's just so much room back here. I can easily fit myself, my dog, my kit, a fire and a second person in here and still have spare room. So that's why I think it's such a brilliant, versatile shelter. Now in terms of cons, I think really the only con is that you are open to the elements from this way. Now there's 2 things you can do about that. You can lower that top corner and bring it down, which obviously reduces the amount of weather that can get in. But most importantly, you can unpeg the 3 pegs and just spin them around to the other side so you're out the way of the rain or the wind. And it's just really simple and really quick to do. Okay, so we've tied up 1 corner up there. Now we just need to peg out the other 3 corners. So let's give that a go now. And there we go. That's pretty much as simple as it is. Top up there, peg out the 3 corners. Okay, so that's 4 tarps down, 1 tarp left, and that is the pyramid. Let's take a look. The pyramid shelter. So as you can see, it's literally just a pyramid. It's totally enclosed, so if there's really bad weather, this is the one you want. And to get in, you have this entrance here. So you have to just sort of squeeze in there, and then you're totally enclosed. If the weather's really bad, you can actually peg this bit down here. There's literally no way any weather can get in there. So I'll just show you inside and see what you think. Okay, so I'm inside. I know it's hard for you to see, but there is just about enough room for me to lay down in here. And in the other corner, there'll be enough room for my kit and the dog. Now the pros for this one, obviously this is really good for severe weather. Nothing's going to get in here at all. No wind, no rain, you're completely covered. It's also pretty simple. It's not the most difficult to do. You'll need a little bit of practice, but it's not hard at all. And the cons are that there isn't a massive amount of space in here, and it's kind of hard to get in and out through that flap. It's okay, but if you catch it and you're on soft ground like I am here, you end up pulling the pegs out. So what I would do is I would actually make some wooden pegs that are really thick, really deep, and sink those deep into this ground here. But if you're using the normal camping pegs, it's quite easy to pull those out by accident. Another negative is that obviously you've got this pole here which restricts your room quite severely, and also you've got no ground mat. All in all, this is a really good one if you know you're in for severe weather, but it's definitely not one of my favourites, but it's worth giving a go for sure. There we go then guys, hope you've all enjoyed that. You've got 5 new tarp setups to try out now. They're all worth a go, and if you only ever learnt those 5 setups, you've got something for every occasion. Doesn't matter if it's windy, raining, snowing, sunshine, doesn't matter. With those 5, you're sorted. Please do like and subscribe if you enjoyed that. It really helps the channel, and I'll see you guys again next week. Cheers.